Okay, guys, today will be my first ever game review. There won't be any footage or gameplay being played, but what I will be doing is reviewing the game just off by memory and all that. I'll be reviewing the storyline, graphics, audio, music, that kind of stuff, you get the point. But anyway, back to the main focus. What I'll be reviewing today is Sonic the Hedgehog 1 for the Sega Mega Drive, aka Genesis in America. And as you can tell, this is the European version of the game. Yes, it's the European cover art. And as you can tell, it's pretty amazing that I've actually got this rare piece of history known as Sonic the Hedgehog. Yeah, so classical Sega, of course, back when they were the best. Well, yeah, actually the best company does what Nintendo don't. Anyway, the storyline in this game is actually very simple. You know, you got Eggman steals all the little flickies known as the little animals, puts them all inside the badniks, which creates Sonic's first ever enemies. Yeah, been a long time since that, isn't it? And the storyline is that Eggman has stolen all the emeralds and left them in those special stages, as you know of. Sonic's got to fight all the badniks who are trying to stop him. There are about 7 zones altogether, and those zones are Green Hill Zone, Marble Zone, Spring Yard Zone, and Labyrinth Zone. Oh wait, why am I ending it there? Spring Yard Zone, Labyrinth Zone, Starlight Zone, and Scrap Brain Zone, and of course the final zone. And also there's the special stages, of course. So yeah, the storyline's simple. It's Sonic chasing against Eggman, aka Robotnik back then, collecting 6 emeralds. And yeah, there were only 6 emeralds back then, not 7. And note there's no Super Sonic. The only difference is that at the ending you see the true ending, where he's supposed to transform, but they just disappear. He gets some flowers and he jumps up. Yeah, you get the point. But yeah, storyline is very simple. It's a good storyline. There ain't any kind of catch where there'll be loads of dumb-ass gimmicks, such as games like Sonic 06. Yeah, very nice storyline. Well, and for the graphics, let's move on to that. Graphics are good. Yeah, for a Genesis game, the graphics are actually very good. Back when this came out, the Genesis was only like 1 year old, back in 1991. So graphics are very good. Not the best graphics on a Genesis, because of course Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles, their graphics was tremendously good. But the graphics for this, yes, very good. Very colourful, as you know of. Very smooth, no glitches. There are some certain glitches, but it's rare to find the glitches in this game. Unless you're playing Sonic the Hedgehog Genesis for the Game Boy Advance, of course. Um, Jeez, feels like a good time to show gameplay. The only thing I can do is show this. And sorry, I don't have the booklet either. Yeah, got lost. Case snapped as well. But anyway, yeah, the graphics are very good for a game back in 1991. If you compare it to Super Mario World, it completely beats that game. Or if you compare it to Super Mario All Stars, which came out in 1993, 2 years after, it still beat the hell out of it. But yeah, that's not. Oh, and it's nothing going to Mario. Graphics in that game is very good for a SNES game, to be honest. But yeah, now let's talk about the zones. Of course, there's the most famous zone of them all, Green Hill Zone. Very colourful, very unique, very imaginative, and very green. Yeah, everything in that zone Every part of it has to have something that's green in it. It's a big mash of colours all put in one. You know, got the classical hula hoops, got all the rings, power-ups, everything that you could expect a true Sonic game to have. You know, a hell load of badniks, very classic ones. You know, nothing, not one zone can beat Green Hill Zone, in my opinion, unless it's Labyrinth Zone. And yes, I'm actually saying that I really like Labyrinth Zone, even though it's very hard to some people. Next is Marble Zone. That zone is a very platforming zone. There's no speed shoes in that zone, to make it clear, so it's a very slow zone. You have to push rocks, wait for stuff to get up and down. There's lava, of course, so that's the that's Sonic 1's Lava Reef Zone, to make it clear. Yeah, still a colourful zone, you know, you got a load of colours everywhere, but it's just not as fast as the others. Moving on to Springyard Zone. Springyard Zone is like Sonic, is like Green Hill Zone, but done in different colours. Again, very colourful, very good with the background images. You get all the springs, pings that will bounce you about, get all high scores. And I love the way how when you get to the parts where there's that spiky ball spinning about, you can do a spin dash on them, a light spin dash, because he never does the real spin dash, and go up and down and all that. Very good platformers on that stage. And moving on to Labyrinth Zone, one of the most hated zones in Sonic history, because of the water, of course. My opinion, it's a nice zone. It hasn't got a lot of colours, to be honest. Mainly, it's just dark, light orange. You know, get all the dark, light orange, loads of water. Can get very hard trying to find a bubble. But yeah, it's a very nice zone, in my opinion. But not the boss battle. The boss battle was just crappy. Starlight Zone. Yeah, another zone that only has one main colour, which is black, the sky. To be honest, it's a nice zone with good platforms, like when you get those bombs and you're bouncing up and down. It's very unique, very smart of them to do it. Scrap Brain Zone. Gotta be the real hardest zone in the game, from how there's so much spikes, so much enemies, fire. Like, you compare it to Marble Zone, the fire is much more worse, because they come out of nowhere. But it's hard. And yes, in the final act, you got a water section. And the final zone, be honest, they ain't that hard. Actually, it's very easy. Even though you don't have any rings, nowadays when I play it, it's very easy. So that's the zones. The music in the game, though, is just brilliant. Green Hill Zone, very happy and uplifting music, you know, and classical from how it's remembered to this day. Marble Zone. Marble Zone's music is like music telling you, you gotta keep going, you know, because you want to stop playing because it gets boring sometimes, but it's still alright. Springyard Zone's some kind of carnival kind of music, very kind of, you know, carnival-y, clownish kind of music, but still good. Labyrinth Zone is my personal favourite music track in the game. The music in that zone is basically the reason why I love it so much. Because, you know, just the beat and the sound effects that they used in it, very nice. Starlight Zone. That zone feels like I'm having a break, you know. I've got Labyrinth Zone being a pain in the ass, and having that music and that nice layout of a zone, yeah, it's a bit of a happy zone. Then Scrap Brain Zone is like telling you you're gonna get your ass kicked, because, you know, it sounds very serious, very, you know, just sounds like still a good song, of course, but telling you it's gonna be a hard way to go. And the final boss, epic. That's all I'll say, it's epic. It's not as epic as Sonic 2's final boss, or 3, or even Sonic and Knuckles' Doomsday Zone, but it's still very, very, it's like, it's a good song. It fits in well with the zone that you're in as well. But yeah, that's it. The boss acts, well, Sonic Green Hill Zone, simplest boss acts ever made. You know, all you're doing is jumping, hitting his head while he's getting that big ball messing about. And very easy. Marble Zone, well, sort of similar to Hilltop Zone from Sonic 2, all lava flying at you. But again, it's a very easy boss. Springyard Zone can be a bit tricky sometimes. You know, gotta jump, try and not get hit by the big spike, but it's alright, I guess. Now the worst boss battle, Sonic Labyrinth Zone. All you're doing is going up and up and up. I'd be amazed if someone actually killed the boss. That'd be really amazing. I've only killed it once. It was right at the ending. But yeah, it's a hard boss. Starlight, it's a bit hard. For a zone that's very easy, it's a bit hard, I guess. But it's alright, all you're doing is hitting bombs at it. Then there's no boss battle in Scrap Brain Zone, and you get the final boss. Like I said, it's a very easy boss. Nothing hard about it, really. Unless you're getting hit by the electric things. Now, let's talk about Sonic's outlook in this game. As you know, Sonic's classic outlook acts like he's got the bad attitude. Like if you leave him standing there, he'll start waiting, tell you to go. Very nice and cool attitude. Unlike nowadays, he's like very happy and loses track on what he's doing. Back then, he was very badass, in my opinion. I rate this game very high. I rate it 9.5 out of 10. The reason why I ain't 10 out of 10, I think this is a bit short. Just a little bit short. Like, they could have made the final boss longer. That's what I'm saying. The final boss is just, like I said, easy. They could have made it longer. But overall score is about 9.5 out of 10. Music's brilliant. The layout and graphics from just perfect. Like, for a Genesis game. Then Sonic's outlook's, like I said, very badass and unique. And story, simple and nice. Altogether, the game is perfect. Nothing bad about it. Well, that's it for now. Next week, I'll be reviewing Sonic the Hedgehog 2 for the Mega Drive. Man, this video took long. So, if you think I've left something out, just tell me. It's my first ever game review. But for now, chill.